What is functional English? At school or at college, students are taught English, English A, English B. At graduate level or at BS level, the title changes. It becomes functional English. What is functional English? Why it is taught? What are the benefits of studying functional English? We will discuss this in video. Functional English refers to the practical and everyday use of English language to fulfill the specific communication needs in real life situations. So it's language that that fulfill the requirement of communication, and this communication is in real life. So how to respond, how to communicate in real life, this is a functional English. The emphasis in functional English is on using language for practical purposes such as in the workplace, social interactions, or other day-to-day context. So its emphasis is on use of practical purposes. So functional English emphasizes on practical purposes, that is how to use English language in at workplace or for in social interactions or any other day-to-day context when we communicate with others, when we need to talk to others. So how we would respond. This approach to language learning focuses on developing skills necessary for effective communication in various situations. So functional English enhances or focuses on enhancing or developing the skills effective communications. It helps to respond in real life situation. So if we talk about the objectives, communication focuses on skills. As we have discussed in the previous slide, its focus is on enhancing the skills. Communication functional English emphasizes the development of communication skills both in spoken and written form. Its objective is to enhance the both skills, especially both skills. The goal is to enable individuals to express themselves clearly and effectively. So by learning functional English, the learner would be able to communicate clearly and effectively. Functional English enhances spoken and written communication skills so that the learner may express clearly and effectively. Real life context. The language skills taught in functional English are designed to be applicable to real life situations. This can include workplace communication, social interaction, travel, and other day-to-day scenarios. So the skills, oral or spoken and written. So these skills make capable or enable the listener to use this language in a real life situation. This situation may be a workplace where you are working, it may be in your social or routine life, it may be during travel, it may be during work, or it may be in any other scenario. So communication, learning of functional English enables the learner to communicate, to enhance his or her communication skills. Next, task-oriented learning. This is done, learning in functional English is often task-oriented. Students are often given tasks or assigned that mimic real-life language use, such as writing emails, making presentations, or engaging in discussions. So the students are taught functional English not through cramming or memorizing, but they are assigned some tasks or some assignments where they have to be performed, they have to be expose themselves in a real situation, they are engaged in a real situation and respond to that situation. For example, they may be asked to write an email to their seniors, to their subordinates, they may be asked to get information through email, they may be asked to make presentations, or they may be asked to discuss some topics or express their feelings. Functional English focuses on vocabulary that is related to specific objectives. For example, if a student is studying mass comm, he or she would be taught or focused on learning vocabulary that's related to his field or her field. If the person is studying social sciences or you can say computer sciences or business studies, they would be taught the vocabulary relating to their specific fields. So functional English focuses on teaching vocabulary that is relevant to the specific context and purposes. This helps learners acquire the language skills needed for their particular needs and goals. Next focus is on grammar. Grammar is very important part of a language. Grammar means the arrangement of words and the correct, or you can say agreement of the words. So where word should be written, what is the place of the word, what is specific place for a specific word. So this is a called grammar. While grammar is important, the focus is on practical grammar usage. Learners are taught how to construct grammatically correct sentences and expressions in a way that is useful in a real world situation. So students are taught grammar, and grammar that is required for practical purposes, and they are enabled to make grammatically construct sentences, because if the sentence is grammatically right, it would convey a correct message, and if the sentence is wrong, it might result in confusion, or it might result in something else. Next focus is on listening and speaking skills. A significant emphasis is placed on developing listening and speaking skills. This includes understanding spoken language, participating in conversations, and developing and delivering oral presentation. The students are given some practical tasks so that they may learn functional, they may learn English. They may be required to understand, comprehend some specific topics, some specific discussions, or this is focused on listening or understanding. They may be involved in some conversation, so they may use the vocabulary, or they may be unable to respond in some specific situations, and they are given assigned presentation, so they may improve communication skills, they may express them clearly, or they speak clearly and correctly. So in the conclusion, functional English is taught in language courses, workplace training programs, and adult education. The goal is to equip individuals with language skills necessary to navigate and succeed in various practical situations they may encounter in their personal and professional lives. So the objective is they enable them so that they may use language in a practical life or their professional life. This approach to language learning is practical, learners-centered, and aims to make language acquisition a meaningful and applicable. So here the learners is focused. The need of the learners, what kind of situation he might face, what kind of workplace he might be in, and what kind of communication he would or she would require. So it would be focused on his or her requirements. And the next aim is to enable the speakers or listeners or learners of make language acquisition a meaningful and applicable. So they may do it correct way, in a proper way, and that language which is applicable in a practical life, or that helps the learner to communicate in a practical situation.